Hello everyone. With the way I'm dressed, you would think it's very cold outside, but I think it's really only 60 degrees. It may be warmer than that, so I'm actually kind of warm in my coat. But anyways, hello. I was reminded that I need to use my voice more often, and something I tell my youngest child a lot is to use his voice. His words rather, he tends not to, and I guess I needed a reminder myself to use my words. So just wanted to talk about this last weekend. I went to an event. I went to Eric Worre's GoPro 2023. A good friend of mine, she ended up with platinum tickets, which were $5,000 each, and they were just gifted to her. And so we're both of the same faith. We both belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and her friends, her business partners, who are not of our faith, they're Christian as well though, they suggested that she pray about it and pray about who should come with her. So she did, and I was the one that came up for her. And so for me, kind of getting into some Latter-day Saint culture, I guess, which does not mean it's right or wrong, but like any culture, it's just a thing that you notice and navigate. So I kind of felt like one of these, something that happens, any decisions, really big or small, we're told to pray about them. And there is a scripture in the Book of Mormon that I can't think of right now, but basically it talks about people a long time ago, and how they were counseled to pray about their problems. So they were told to pray over their fields and their flocks and, basically everything in their possession. And so this is a thing amongst us, and probably, I would imagine, other Christians too. And in any religion that uses prayer, though I'm very ignorant outside of Christianity, so maybe not, I don't know, but I'll just stick with what I know. So I know that's a thing that we are asked to do. And so as a consequence of that, sometimes, and I'm way tangent right now, like I'm not in the story, I'm kind of outsider right now. Sometimes when that happens in our faith, young men will find someone that they would like to marry, and they pray about it, and they feel like, yeah, this is the person. And sometimes the young woman is like, I don't know. So basically both people should get that confirmation. It's not just like, beating someone over the head with a spiritual club and saying you're mine. So that's kind of a little how I felt, to be completely honest with the world. So it's just something that I felt. And to be honest, I didn't pray about it. I was just like, okay, let's go. Let's do this thing. And I had all kinds of self-limiting beliefs and imposter syndrome and all this stuff come up. I was not excited about going, even though I knew it was a great opportunity. I just wasn't at all. And I probably probably knew for a good 3 weeks maybe. And I didn't even tell my husband about it until like maybe less than a week before, even though I had already talked to my boss and asked for time off and all this stuff. So yeah, so I went. I did end up going. I went, backtracked a little. She's like, what do we wear? What do we do? And I'm like, that's just another thing I don't want to think about. What I'm going to wear. There's going to be all these people here wearing fabulous things. I don't really have anything fabulous to wear. Great. But I showed up anyways. I put something on. I showed up. And it was really awesome. It was cool. It was a 3-day thing. My car's really loud, so now I'm wondering, as I always do, if you can hear me. It was a 3-day event. I was able to make it for 2. And it was cool. I really love events. They do amazing things for a person as long as they're put together well. This is a long story. This is a long video. I'll tell a couple stories and then I'll get to what I was gonna say. So one of the first things that Eric did was he kind of wanted to identify who he was talking to and kind of put them in groups, and if it's done in the right spirit and it's done without comparison, I think it's just a really interesting way to illustrate things. So he had everyone who made over $50,000 in their business in the prior year stand up. And so there's a bunch of people standing up, and then and the stakes went higher from there. So I forget if we went to 75,000, it's definitely 100,000, 150,000. People start sitting down, 200,000, 500,000, million. A few people standing still. And I got to the point, once the millions hit, got to the point where there was this man and there was someone else standing up, and I couldn't quite see, but we were standing closer to the man, and he was very stern looking and just fully composed. I mean, just, maybe he wasn't in that moment, but he just looked like he really had it all together. And so 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, he's still standing. 8 million, he sits down at this point. And so just for fun, they find out what the other top earner was earning, and she was earning $10 million a year. And I was so excited that it was a woman. I don't know, that really tickled me personally. And I did get out of my little bubble, and I talked to her for a little bit, and I was so nervous. I was just trying to end the conversation, and she talked to me for a little bit more, and I appreciated that. But it's funny because before that, I was telling my friend that I attended with that I wanted to talk to her, and I think I referred to her as like the highest earner, here, or something like that. I didn't know how else to refer to her. And my friend and I were in the bathroom. This was so bizarre. I was in one stall and she was in the big like handicap stall, and she's like, she's in here. I was like, how do you know that? Like, you're in a bathroom stall. How do you know that? She's like, I'm just observant. You're in a stall. How do you know that? So it was like kind of a weird moment. She's like, no, I just observe things. I'm like, dude, you're in a bathroom stall. Like, you can't tell me you just observed something from a stall. Maybe she did, shoes, I don't know. But anyways, so I kind of stalked her a little bit, just a little, and not really. I was waiting for her to come out of the bathroom, so that's probably stalking. And I got tired of waiting, and I went in line for lunch, and then I saw her, so I went to go talk to her, and she was just trying to get like a drink, and there were cups set up, and there were no cups, and so I asked someone, you know, if they could get more cups, please, and but yeah, so I did that. I talked to her, and she was really down to earth, and it was pretty cool, and we got a picture together. But so one of the things I was challenged to do by my trainer was to talk to people. You know, certainly part of the event was education, but really the big drive is to talk to people that you wouldn't normally be able to talk to. So my trainer, so I'll give these people names. Friend is Andrea. Friend who got the tickets, that's Andrea. Trainer is Felipe. Felipe said, okay, like you're there to network, so network. And I'm like, okay, fine. And so last day, I knew that's what I was supposed to be doing there, and I set a goal for myself to get 20 contacts, and I didn't. I got 10, and I talked to 16 people, which probably doesn't seem like very much, but I'm really an introvert, and social situations kind of freak me out a little bit, like a lot actually. And so I was just trying to be, it was okay at the conference, you know, that's structured, you're sitting, you're listening, you have a little bit of time to go to the bathroom, maybe bump into someone, there was lunch, you know, stuff like that, but not this unstructured, just go be social with people time. So, so that was the party at the Worry's house, and it was not any kind of house I could imagine. It was beautiful, and it was up in the hills, and just, it was really cool, indoor, outdoor pool sort of thing, you know. Yeah, anyways, I did talk to some people. I didn't meet my goal, but coming away from it, I felt like I could have done a little bit better. And I identified some areas where I could do that. There was some easy low-hanging fruit that I could have grabbed, like the people that Andrea met the first day. I only got one of their numbers, and that's ridiculous, right? Like, I spent the whole time with them, so why not, you know? Why not go for the ask myself instead of relying on Andrea, which is what I realized I was doing on Friday, the first day I was there, because she's a talker and I am not. So I just leaned on her, and I knew that was the thing that I do. So I could have done that, and I could have tried a little bit harder. You know, the thing she kept telling me the whole weekend, and it still didn't get through my thick head, was that we're not going to see these people again. I don't necessarily believe that. I think we probably would end up running into them somewhere. Not all of them maybe, but you know, some of them somewhere. So, but even still, why does that matter if I talk to them or if I say something goofy, or you know, like, who cares? So anyways, so yeah, I was texting my dad about the whole thing, and I was telling him about my social anxiety, and he's like, you know, like, why do you let that stop you? And he reminded me of my brother Daniel, who's dead, or passed on, rather. And I don't even remember what he said now, but he reminded me of my brother. And my brother was just a lover of people. You could just tell by the way that he interacted with them. He just loved humanity. And now I'm doing an ugly cry on this video. That's great. At least I have my sunglasses on. And that was kind of like, you know, a repeat lesson in a way. There was a little tribute during the event to a woman who had died, and she was fairly young, and she was very much the same way. You know, she loved people. She loved them out loud. There was no question how much she loved people. And I don't know if I'm necessarily that person who is just so outwardly loving. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't really think I am, though. But it just reminded me to be authentic. And it's hard to be authentic when you hide behind other people. And you don't use your words. And I'm sure there's other examples, and I just can't think of them right now. But I guess that was one of the big takeaways, was to be authentic. And I'm still trying to find that within myself. And I do have some mental barriers, and those aren't totally clear to me what they are, but not being authentic may be one of them. So I'm glad I got to have this talk with you, and I hope to be talking with you soon. I'll let you go. Have a wonderful day.